Hey, this is Matthew.
Hey, this is Rich from Rageworks.
Welcome to Nerd News today. We've got a really cool unboxing for today.
We got a Diamond Select Bruce Lee action figure. This one is rocking the yellow jumpsuit that he wore in Game of Death, made famous by the bride in Kill Bill. It's when he fought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Very awesome figure. Comes with a bunch of different accessories. Can't wait to unbox it.
Yeah, so here's a look at the packaging. It's in our traditional Diamond Select box. They pretty much always have the same type of boxes. This one is actually a little bit smaller than like the Ghostbusters we've looked at in the past because there's no diorama pieces, thankfully.
Right.
So as much as I love the diorama pieces, and I would have actually loved to have had something for Bruce too, a nice base for him to stand on.
Yeah.
It is cool that this package is actually a little bit smaller, but we're not really losing any of the stuff that they usually put in.
My only gripe has always been with this kind of packaging that if you're a collector that wants to put the stuff in the package, you can't. Once you pop that blister, that's it.
Yeah, it is pretty collector unfriendly in that regard.
That's the only thing. Only because we all do it. You know, you got to clean, you got to dust. Sometimes you want to rotate some stuff out.
Yep.
And you don't have packages for them.
There's really no in between with Diamond Select figures, but on the plus side, if you are a mint on card collector, they have done some things to help make your life easier.
Absolutely.
And one of those is that I've seen a lot of collectors do this. They'll actually file their toys sideways. And luckily, you've got this nice image here, so you know exactly what you've got.
Absolutely.
And they're always unique. So that part's pretty cool. That's a nice touch. And the back of the box just gives us a little glimpse of a little bit more about Bruce. We got his official life story.
Yep.
And we also see who sculpted this piece here.
Yep, another Gentle Giant sculpt. Definitely solid work on capturing a lot of the little subtle pieces of the outfit that he wore for the film. Also, like the overabundance of different hands to give you different posing options, and of course the nunchuks, the iconic nunchuks that he used.
But that's enough time watching Bruce here in this package. Let's get him out of the box.
Yep, let's crack it open and see what comes in the package.
Let's kick it with Bruce. And just so you guys can see the back of the box before we totally take him out, here is how everything's stored in there. So there's this nice little compartment here for his nunchuck accessory, and then we've got Bruce and all the accessories. There's one twisty tie, only one annoying twisty tie, and a few small rubber bands, but not many. So this one's actually not going to be too terrible to get out of the package.
That's right.
And here is our Bruce Lee out of the package in his yellow tracksuit.
Yep.
So, Rich, initial thoughts?
Initial thoughts, I think that overall the articulation is pretty good. Little difficulty getting him to stand. I like that they added a good amount of joints to the figures to offer ample posability options for people to choose from. Not a fan of the head sculpt. Not my favorite likeness of him in terms of just the way that the face is laid out. But in terms of the way that the figure is structured, I think they did a great job.
I'm going to agree with you about that head sculpt. I don't think this one here is particularly too great. But, however, there is a second head sculpt this toy comes with.
Yep.
So normally we do this later on in the video, but I think today, because this head sculpt is just a little too bleh for me, let's go ahead and swap out some parts. Because
right.
In addition to a spare head, Bruce also comes with 6 additional hands.
That's right. So here's the putting the yelling head on. That's it. See, the head pops on very easily. Little joint there, and boom,
That's
right there.
nice.
Brand new head.
That is a way better head sculpt.
That's it. Super awesome. He's yelling. It works.
Like, comparing the two head sculpts, it's like night and day. It really
Yeah,
is.
it really is.
This is disappointed, Bruce.
Yep.
This is awesome, Bruce. So we're going to take this Bruce head and just hide that.
Yep.
Why don't we swap out some hands, I guess? Let's see. 'Cause he
Yep.
has, like I said, a bunch of different hands. He's got...
Yep, there's a bunch of hand options. Very easy to pull the hands out. It's just one quick pull, little peg. So here's the first hand. Here's the second hand. Now
he's
looks like
handless.
That's it. There we go. We popped in one, popped in the other, and that one's good if you kind of want to do some of his poses. You could even, if you want to get your inner Spider-Man on,
Yeah.
with this hand pose. But it's good because he has a joint. He's jointed here at the torso, so you can do some posing options that way. And he has other posable joints, even though they're a little stiff. So you definitely got to have a little play with it. But that's not bad.
No.
Little battle action pose there.
Totally looks like Bruce Lee. I mean...
That's it.
And when you're done playing with him in his fight, you could shout at the devil.
That's it.
So let's actually talk a little bit more about the articulation since you brought it up. Let's just show you guys all the POA we've got here. So
Yep.
You already know that the heads can turn. It's got a bullet-jointed head. We have a little interesting type of shoulder joint this time around. It's not like it's really changing the posability, but there's just this weird extra piece here. It's normally not in the other Diamond figures.
Right.
But he does have the classic shoulder bullet joints. He's got the bicep swivel. We have double-jointed elbows. We got wrists that can turn and that can bend. We have a chest buck that moves. We have a waist that moves in theory, but guess what? It's stiff out the box.
There you go.
Oh my god, I just snapped Bruce in half.
That's it.
He has
Bruce took a trip to the chiropractor.
Rich, if you'd like to grab that leg for me, from the foot there, you can show that, yes, Bruce is just as flexible as he was in real life.
Yep. And he has an ankle joint, so you can pose here, which is pretty nice.
So you can do that. Actually, surprisingly, he can't get a full split on this one. See, maybe we can do it like this. Normally, the other diamonds, you can actually get a full split, or pretty close to it. This one, surprisingly,
Nope.
No, he doesn't go all the way down, but he actually holds himself up, which is
Yep, that's not bad.
even cooler with his hands like this.
That's it.
Got double jointed knees as well, so you can get some really nice leaping knees and some good kicking action.
Yep.
And the feet manipulate as well. So diamond, you never have to worry about their articulation. They always got it good.
Yeah, they did a great job with that.
I will say the one thing is his piece over here. It does seem very detached from the rest of him.
Yeah, the legs almost feel like they needed just a slight bit more.
Oh, there we go. Actually, they just fell out.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that's creepy. So I guess interesting. They kind of just slide down. I guess that's to help add more flexibility for the kicks, so you have some more room to kick. That's weird. I haven't seen that before in a diamond figure. Yeah, They actually are adjustable. There's a little lever in there to help him go up and down.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
there you go. Now he looks more.
Now he looks like a human.
That's it. Let's throw the nunchaku on so we can show Bruce wielding his trademark weapons.
So, of course, this is the Bruce from Game of Death, as we mentioned, which was released in the U.S. in 1978. But this particular scene that we're referencing is the fight with Dan and Santo, the very first fight in that tower. And that's when he did stick fighting with Dan, who was a master of Eskrima and the Filipino martial arts. And they finished the fight scene with nunchucks, which is what we've got here.
Yep, even though the nunchucks are a little loose,
Yeah.
which that kind of messes with the posability a bit. So definitely might need a little heat on the fingers to kind of tighten that up.
That's pretty nice looking. So this is his action nunchuck, or one of his action nunchucks. This is just the one that you could whip a dude with. But in addition to that, he also has just a normal nunchuck that you can actually bend, because we've seen other people made nunchucks, like NECA, for example, and they've gotten. I'm gonna swap out a hand real quick.
Yep.
When they've done when they've done nunchucks, they've often done them with like metal chains. Other companies have used actual rope sometimes. In this case, Diamond did things differently, and they've got theirs just kind of elasticy so that it will retain its shape. And I kind of like it. I think you're kind of on the fence about it, though, right?
Yeah, my thing, going back to what you were saying before, definitely I'm a bigger fan of doing the nunchucks with the little chains. I think that works. Or even going back to something we were talking about before, doing a set that came with the rope itself, because when he was walking up the steps and he was after that fight, he held them together close. So, it's good if you want to pose them just holding them like that. I think the rope would have been a nice touch. I mean, that action and, that action nunchuck and this one.
That giant parasol, we'll get to in a second.
Yeah, which is to mimic him swinging him around. I think it's cool, but you could have just as easily done one with the rope.
Yeah. Because this is accurate, because it was not a nunchuck with a chain. It was a nunchuck with a rope.
Right.
So it is accurate in that regard. I don't mind, because I haven't really seen too many nunchucks like this. So I don't hate this. I'm a little bit indifferent to it, I guess you could say.
Okay.
I do like it for posing, because it does hold that shape.
Right.
Whereas if you did have the rope and he was doing that, it'd just be drooping down right now.
Right. The only reason I would have done the rope was for him to hold them together and put them in one hand.
Yeah.
Like, for that reason alone, like maybe him doing that. Or the only other thing I would have mentioned that is missing would have been a hand where he's going like this when he's calling him in. This hand is kind of close.
Yeah.
But not quite. I think that would have been cool. I would have definitely sacrificed one set of hands for nunchaku with a real string. That would have worked.
So let's go ahead and try out this other nunchuck that he comes with, because he has one more. It's pretty dynamic. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to remember how he actually, because I think he did have it in front of him. Right?
Yeah, he did it swing it in front.
Yeah.
So it would be like that, although it weighs it down a bit. So that might be a way to do it, but it obscures the face. So, if it rains, he's covered.
Yeah, he's totally great for a rainy day.
Yeah, that's it.
He's who you want to hang out with on a rainy day.
That's it.
But it is a pretty nice effect. With this whole Bruce Lee line, Diamond has done a lot of like translucent effects like this.
Yep.
On their statues as well. So it's kind of cool actually that they all match like that. This one to get it's like maybe if we haven't pushed it out a little bit more, it might work, but it does kind of bend down a little bit because he is a lighter figure.
Right.
Because again, Bruce is a smaller guy, so he's not going to be as heavy as other Diamond figures will be.
The only thing, obviously, if you want to display, he's obscured at a glance.
You cannot see anything,
Yep.
but it's a nice touch though.
But his opponent didn't see much either when he
No.
did that, so it works from a screen accurate standpoint.
So the paint job on this figure is overall very clean as well, which is thankfully really nice because it's got that classic yellow tracksuit as we mentioned. There's some orange highlighting in there to help it kind of pop a little bit more.
Yep.
And the skin paint and the paint on the skin and the face is overall pretty good also. It's a pretty solid job.
Yeah, I think the paint job was fine. I would have probably made his skin tone a shade lighter, but that's just, personal preference, only because I feel like he has a bit of a tan, which he doesn't.
Well, he was Hollywood at that point.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
He might have had more of a tan.
Maybe.
California sun.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but that would have been the only thing. I would have maybe gone a shade lighter. But in terms of the paint job, it's great. Captures the suit he wore perfectly. It also reinforces a lot of like Bruce Lee's muscle tone. So you see like a little bit of his traps. You see a little bit of his lats in there, which is kind of cool that they did that. Also, they captured the bunching of the sleeves of the suit for like his bis and tris. Like that was kind of a cool effect. So they definitely took their time with regards to that to make it look like the clothing was actually in motion, which was good.
So I would like to mention, I recommend buying them usually in stores if you can find them, just to make sure you get good ones. Because sometimes they have a little bit of extra paint on their faces or something like that. They usually have a pretty heavy-handed paint job. So just buy or beware. Be aware of what you're getting when you get them. And if you can, find a way to look at them before you get it. We recommend that. But even if you get this one online, I think this one you're pretty safe with because in general it's a kind of a cleaner paint job than a typical diamond figure.
You would notice any blemishes immediately, especially on the bright yellow paint job. Any overlays of colors that were thrown off, any of the black piping on the sides of the costume. Things like that would jump out immediately, especially if you're looking at it in store. Definitely don't grab the first one on the peg. Go through the peg and see what's in there first.
So I think my only nitpick with this figure, something I kind of touched on a little bit earlier, and that, I mentioned that there was no diorama piece of this one. And I actually would not have minded something for him to stand on to add more context to the scene. I would have actually liked that because, again, we're talking this is a Bruce from Game of Death. Diamond also has a Bruce Lee from Enter the Dragon, different outfit. So they're two different things. I would have minded that to separate them a little more and just to give them some context. And from an accessory standpoint also, I'm happy we got all of the nunchucks, but I wanted the green stick.
Oh, yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, he needs to have that because that's basically a crux to finishing that fight scene.
That's right.
That we're really focusing on here with this piece with all the nunchucks.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been a fascination of Bruce Lee when anytime he's wielding nunchucks on screen because he made it look so effortless. He did such a great job, and I think to that end, they definitely tried to reinforce that with the accessories. But to your point, you could have just thrown in the stick and again given up one of the nunchucks from the set. The only other thing I would have added, going back to what Matt was saying, was a little bit more to kind of let you know it was from the movie. Maybe, like maybe 3 steps, like when he's walking up the steps. Just something to display him. And again, there's always a matter of cost and trying to keep costs down. But again, 3 steps, you could probably find a previously used diorama that had some steps and reuse it and pack it in there. That would have been cool. I also said to Matt that I would have liked to have seen a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. would have been kind of cool. Even if the diorama would have been Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
Because that would have just been one piece, him sitting in the chair, and that could have been the display piece, like Bruce and then him in the chair.
Well, maybe Diamond just needs to do a whole line of Bruce Lee from all the movies he was in and just have a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Build-A-Figure.
That would be a pretty... I mean, given the current climate of Build-A-Figures, a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Build-A-Figure would not be the worst thing in the world.
So that's our look at Diamond Select's Bruce Lee, and this is the Game of Death yellow tracksuit version.
Yep.
I think it's safe to say we both like this one very much.
Absolutely.
And if you're a big Bruce fan, then it's totally worth adding to your collection.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is a great piece to add. Definitely also a piece that's friendly on the pocket because a lot of companies are also doing a lot of Bruce Lee memorabilia, especially when it comes to figures. Some of them are imported, so the price point is extremely high sometimes, approaching sometimes $100. Our friends at Diamond definitely created a great piece that is friendly on the wallet and is just an amazing piece to add to your collection.
So if you guys want to pick up this Bruce Lee figure, you can find him at your local comic book stores, or you can order him online from Diamond Select or other websites that carry toys. So Rich, thanks for joining us here today to check out this Bruce. Where can our viewers find out more about what you guys do at RageWorks?
You can visit us at rageworks.net. You can also look for RageWorks on any social media platform. Instagram is probably the one we're using most frequently, but you can also find us on Facebook, on Twitter, we're Rage_Works because someone's camping on RageWorks. So if anybody could fix that for us, we'd appreciate it.
We'll take care of that.
There you go. Worry. That's it. But otherwise, visit us at rageworks.net for the latest reviews and rants about gaming, entertainment, and the works.
So on that note, I'm Matthew.
I'm Rich.
See you guys next time for some more toy reviews and unboxing.
Peace.
Whoop-ha!